I'm in a season of my life where I'm really done with the foolishness. That includes my own. I'm not just talking about the foolishness that I see on a day to day basis, whether it be social media or somewhere out in the public. I'm talking about all forms, every shape and form of absolute foolishness. I'm done with it. I'm done with entertaining and engaging this sort of ideology, this sort of mentality. And when I talk about foolishness, I'm talking about us showing up in the world ignorantly, right? Now, I made a video, a full fledged video on why I gave up on mainstream hip hop, on this modern mainstream. I'm done with it. It's eradicated from my psyche. Absolutely 1000%. There were many good memories I had. Thank you very much. But we have moved on into the now and into the future to come, right? On some Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. But I'm done with all forms of foolishness, entertaining and engaging those things that are not edifying my life, that are not pouring into my own life experience. If it's not going to edify my life experience and the lives of those around me, I don't want it anymore. I really don't. And I mean in any form, right? Like it could be something that's just inspiring, encouraging, that could make you laugh without having to ridicule you or make somebody a fool or make somebody the butt of a joke. Like, I'm not one of these folks who say, let's create a sensitive generation in that perspective. However, I do understand that for far too long, we have been using excuses of it's just fun, it's just games in order to be hurtful towards one another. And I was a part of the problem. I was not a part of the solution for most of my life up until this point. I was the one who would hurl things. I was the one with the sharp tongue, thinking I was really being somebody and doing something because other people were laughing when I was making somebody else the expense of that. When I was damaging somebody else, when I was trampling onto somebody else's world in order for me to get kikis and hee-hees from the people around me. And I say, you know what? I'm done with that because I'm also done with accepting that type of behavior towards myself. I'm only surrounding myself with the type of people that are going to pour into me, encourage me, tell me the truth, right? I don't need yes men. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't need yes men. I don't need yes women. I need individuals who are going to tell me the truth that is going to prove or move me forward, propel me into my destiny, because that's what I'm here to do. If the words coming out of my mouth are not going to do something that's going to edify your life, then why am I talking in the first place? What's the point of me talking, huh? To talk about little Becky, little Susie, what they got going on, what he got going on, what she got going on. If there's nothing in there that's going to be fruitful for you, then why am I opening my mouth in the first place? Why am I saying something in the first place? And I feel like that's what we've been caught up with as a generation, as a society. We just got caught up in just foolishness, just talking about anything and anybody just to just say something, having an opinion that really doesn't have any substance, that's not going to be beneficial to the next person. And again, like I said, humor, these things are absolutely important. They're vital. But if it doesn't serve a purpose, if we're doing something just as a means of distracting ourselves from ourselves, right? From running from ourselves, we're not doing ourselves or anybody else's service. I'm done with the foolishness. I'm done with the foolishness of not drinking water and making excuses about it. You understand me? I'm done with the foolishness of making things priorities that don't truly matter. I'm done with that. Mm-mm. Enough is enough. When we prioritize foolishness, foolish behavior, when we prioritize destructive habits, destructive ways of being, what are we doing for ourselves as well as those we claim to love? What example am I setting if I'm pulling up to the club every weekend or damn near on the weekends and the weekdays, getting wasted, running around chasing tail, trying to look like somebody standing on couches, pouring liquor on people's. What am I looking like doing those activities and then coming home and saying, man, I love my family. I love my bae. I love my boo. I love my soulmate. Huh? We got to do better, folks. We got to do better. And there's so many subjects that I could really get into, but I just wanted to do an overall, right? But for me, something that's close to my heart is, we say that we want these beautiful relationship dynamics, but yet we engage and entertain in tomfoolery and foolishness. We continue to entertain the very opposite of the thing that we claim to want. Oh man, I just want a beautiful soulmate relationship. I want a relationship where I'm understood, where I'm this, where I'm that. But yet you are living in complete opposition to that lifestyle and you expect to get the thing that you want? Come on, man. Come on. I'm done with the foolishness. I know I'm sounding like one of them old school pastors, right? The old school pastors did not play. That's one thing I know about them. They did not play. They would tell it like it was, or at least they believed like it was. And I believe there is a necessity in that. I don't ascribe to a religion. I'll be honest with you. Raised in a church, raised as a fundamental Christian for about 2 decades, and I made my decision that that wasn't my path. That wasn't my walk. Now, if you don't like it, that's between you and God. That's between you and you. If you don't accept what I believe, then that's perfectly fine. I'm not here to force nothing into your life. I'm not here to pull you away from what you're in. I'm not here to take you into what I'm in. You understand me? But what I do know without a shadow of a doubt is that we need more people speaking truth to power. We need more people on the front lines saying what needs to be said, having conversations that need to be had. Finally, we're having conversations about breaking the trauma, the generational curses, breaking these generational spells that we place upon ourselves, that we perpetuated as people. Not just as a people, Some people, when I say people, they think I'm just talking about being black. I understand that is a part of my experience, but that's not the totality of who I am. I am a human being. I am a part of all that is. You understand me? And so all of us as a people, as a human race, we need to do better in order for us to get to the places and the spaces we want to be in. We've been talking about peace forever. We ain't gonna get to peace unless we bring ourselves into peace. But instead, we're talking about somebody who got the peace. You understand me? Somebody who stays packing instead of stays packing. You understand me? We really have to start doing better, and it starts with me. That's why I said I'm done with the foolishness, including my own, because it starts at home. It starts with the decisions that I make on a day-to-day basis. I'm understanding that as I'm putting these messages out into the world, I'm gaining a larger following, larger audience, and there's a lot of young men listening. There's a lot of young, men and women listening. There's a lot of older men and women listening. There's a lot of people of every demographic who are listening, who, if they take this message to heart, they could become the change within their environment. And all it takes is one person in that nucleus in order to change the entire group. It takes one light worker, one individual working from a state of light in order to illuminate an entire room. Think about that. One light bulb lights up the whole room. That's all it takes. One little light bulb. If I look up, I got this ring light and everything, but that light right there is not even 1% of the size of the room that I'm in right now. And yet it illuminates the entire place. And that's what it looks like when you move as light, when you move in light. And some folk think, oh man, but that's boring. You know what I mean? So I can't do something that's fun. Bruh, the most fulfilling life you will ever have, the most fulfilling life is when you're tapped in with yourself. Most of these things that you call cool and hype and lit, those are nothing but distractions that you are throwing yourself into, forms of escapism that you believe are going to bring you into something greater. You think that you're going to get the things that you aspire towards in life through popping the pills? These rappers really got you fooled like that? These rappers are spending all day and night in the studio, and they got you believing in order for you to be successful, you got to pop something. You know what I mean? You got to smash something. You got to have something. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to whip something. They really got you confused. They got you thinking backwards, like it's about the external as opposed to the internal. They got you thinking it's about what you see outside as opposed to what they did within their own consciousness and psyche to get them to the place that they are. That is not about cultivating a deep level of self-belief. And to be honest with you, again, I'm done role model sizing, romanticizing, and making role models and making idols out of any damn body. I don't care who it is anymore. Even my own pops. I ain't gonna lie. Right? Great attributes, and I take the things that I believe are going to be best suited for myself. But I'm not going to put anybody on a Mount Rushmore. I'm not going to put anybody else on a pedestal. Every man, every woman, we are all equal, period. We all bleed the same. We all have the same capacities. Though we may not have the same gifts, the same aptitudes, you understand me? We may be built completely different. Every single one of us has an opportunity to make a conscious decision in order to propel our lives in the direction that we want to propel our lives. There is no excuse for us besides the ones we make for ourselves. And so I'm done with the foolishness. I'm done with the tomfoolery. I'm done with the mess. I'm done with the unnecessary stress. I'm done with the drama. I'm done with that. This season that we're stepping into right now, this season, this one of expansion, of consciousness, of everything we ever desired manifesting into our lives from a place of love, from a place of harmony, from a place of peace, as opposed to from a place of grind, toil, agony, struggle, stress. What we're stepping into, we got to leave that foolishness behind us. Oh man, but you know what I mean? That's the culture. That's the culture of what? What culture? Foolishness culture? Ignorant culture? If you want that, you can go ahead and keep that. You can have that. But y'all got to step aside, because as far as us, we are here to progress. We are here to grow. We are here to consciously move the envelope. We're here to do things different within our own lives. Are we cutting out, the things that are to be enjoyed us? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I am fully for it. I'm not an anti-materialist. Though I'm tapped into the spirit, though I look from the spirit into the physical, I still believe that you should have every experience that you desire in this life. But to think that you're going to find some sense of satisfaction, you're going to find some sense of fulfillment through those things, if you're looking for your validation, if you're looking for your substance or your meaning through physical substance, through matter, through things, whether it's a chain, the 100 rings, the penthouse suites, if you think you're going to find yourself through those things, you got something else coming. Get those things as an addition, as something that you can enjoy for yourself. Get the Lambo, get 10, get 100 for all I care. But as long as you are tapped in with who you truly are, as long as you're able to sit with yourself and be with yourself instead of escaping yourself, you have won the game. And so as far as me and mine, done with the foolishness.